When I first learned how to drive, one of the first lessons you learn, I remember learning, perhaps you did too, is you have to understand that every car has blind spots, everyone. And based on the design of the vehicle, the blind spots are different. For example, most times blind spots are on the corners or the pillars of the vehicle, two in the front, then you got two in the back. And most people get in car accidents because some type of obstruction enters the point of the blind spot. So what happens is it looks like the way is clear, but by the time they're getting over or backing up, they hit something, someone runs into them because they did not thoroughly check the blind spot. Well, that simple illustration is something that you can learn to live a more impactful and powerful life. In life, you got to learn how to check your blind spots, and I want to give you a few tips on how you can do that. The first blind spot that you need to check is you have to be sure that every day before you leave your house, that you leave your home in the right mindset and in the right spirit. That means I have to leave in a state of joy, of peace, of happiness. I have to leave in a state of positive expectation. This is going to be a good day. I'm going to be productive. I'm not going to allow the negativity of others to compromise my state. That has to be a vow that you make every day. You see, that's a blind spot because so many people leave home, get in the car, jump in work, get their coffee, go, and they haven't checked that blind spot. They haven't asked themselves, am I in the right frame of mind? Do I have a positive mindset? And that's what causes the accidents, just like in a real car. You're not checking that blind spot. You're not asking yourself, am I in the right mindset? Am I asking myself or knowing this is going to be a good day? This is going to be a productive day. This is going to be a wonderful day. If you're not checking that blind spot, then you are exposing yourself to a potential accident. You get to work, and then, you don't feel like being there, so you don't do anything. If you're not feeling good, if you don't have the right mindset and a positive spirit and a positive mindset, you're not going to have a productive day. You have to say, you know what? God has given me this day. God has provided for me already. I know this day is going to be productive. I know I'm going to have a fabulous day. I'm not going to allow people to compromise this state of joy, peace, and happiness that I have. So check your blind spot. Before you leave your house, ask yourself, am I in the right mindset? Do I have the right spirit? Do I have the right heart? Secondly, there are a lot of people out there watching this, man. This is an example of who you are, okay? It's an empty glass, all right? And I want to show you something. Glass is empty. Nothing is in it. So you haven't been filled with any substance. So what happens is when you go to work and when you're around negative people and you get around people who are emotionally draining, you have nothing to give. Nothing to give. So when you have nothing to give, you become more irritated, you become more frustrated, you become in a worse place in life. But what happens is, when I'm filled, all right, when I have substance on the inside, you see, and when I'm around frustrating people, when I'm around compromised positions, at least I've got something on the inside that can pull from that and not the core of my consciousness and who I am. And another blind spot you got to ask yourself is, have I been filled with substance on this day? Okay? So how do I fill myself with substance? I read the Word of God. I worship God. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I try to live right. I try to put myself around the right positive people. I don't like to listen to all types of music. I don't like to be and go to lunch with all types of people at work. So that's about filling yourself with substance. When you fill yourself with something and others attack you and people are negative, they have something they can pull from. One of the main reasons why I wanted to produce these videos is to be something that helps to fill various individuals out there. Things that are positive, the word of God, positive people, good music, positive environments. You have to ask yourself, am I filled with substance? Check your blind spot. All right. Number 3, check your blind spot and ask yourself, is everything I'm doing purpose driven? That's a major blind spot. Many people get in accidents in life and end up wasting time and money because they get into situations that have not been ordained for them. All right? You got to ask yourself, man, is what I'm doing purpose driven? And the way you know something is purpose driven is you never have to ask yourself, is it? God doesn't work in a realm of confusion. God doesn't work in a realm of negativity. The realm that God exists within is one that is very, very clear. All right? See, whenever you involve yourself with people and those relationships were not ordained for you, that's an issue. That's a problem. You're wasting your time. When you get into business ventures and you allow the camouflageness of it to confuse you, because a lot of times people will involve themselves in businesses whereby the opportunity is there and it looks great on paper, but that's not something that has been provided for you. So I don't care how great the opportunity is, if God has not ordained that for you, guess what? It's not going to work. You have to involve yourself with things that have been reserved for you. You have to involve yourself with people, with relationships, with experiences and opportunities that are made for you and you alone. See, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I can't allow my surroundings, I can't allow what my friends are doing, what my boys are doing, what my girls are doing, what my aces are doing to determine what I need to do. I need to do what God has ordained for me to do. And when I take my time and my talents and I invest them in those places that have been reserved for me, that's what you call an exciting, explosive life. Are you checking your blind spots? I'm checking mine. Peace.
3, 2.
Authentic Inspiration with Dr. Joseph L. Williams.